defend whatever little bit that you have. Because you don't want to lose that. Because whatever you're maintaining and holding, you want to hold near and dear to that because you have kids to feed.
That's right.
And that's the part about this system, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it takes intelligent brothers like you to stand up to a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate like Coca-Cola, and you're one individual at a job on a site, not getting fired. I commend you for that, first of all. That was a build right there. That right there is a discussion. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we need to have workshops on what to do with the job discrimination.
I'm down with that.
Because a lot of us, we will talk about doctrine, but doctrine is not the only thing that affects us. We talk about things that affect us politically, economically, socially, and therefore mentally and emotionally. Those are things that are very tangibly real and things that need to be addressed and dealt with and spoken upon. So a person like you that has intelligence, you need to have a workshop on what to do when you're discriminating in the job place. What should you know? What should you not do? And how should you go about doing what you do? Now, how to implement that. You know what I'm saying? And still maintain your job. You know what I'm saying? Because other people are going to benefit from that.
A lot of times I tell brothers, right? I tell brothers and sisters that come into the job area, right? One of the main things people fail to realize is that every place has rules and regulations, plus every state has laws, plus you also have federal laws that supersede the state laws when it comes to labor rights. And the majority of the people, the same thing that they do with civics, don't even bother looking at it. They're just so happy to work, and that's the thing. We're in a condition where we're so happy to get a job, we're so happy to get a paycheck because of this conditioning that we're going through, that we don't even bother looking at that. So the first thing I do is I tell people, yo, get whatever documentation that you can get, everything in black and white. When they come to you and barking orders at you, make sure that there's actual documentation backing those orders that they're giving you. I want to see documentation. I want to see this, or what they call a memo. Give me a memo on this. So that way you can hold them accountable, because trust me, they're going to hold you accountable.
You have a union in your shop?
Yes, we have. They do absolutely nothing unless you're white. That's what happens. When you get fired, they say we do the best thing that we did the best that we can.
The union was set up by them. They organized themselves against injustices that they dealt with at first. Especially the Irish. When they first came here, they discriminated against. They talk about the Welsh potato famine. They talk about the Cromwellian invasion of the 1800s. They talk about the Norman invasion of the 1600s, the 1800s, and they'll say that we've been through the struggle, the strife, and all that too. But the thing is, when they came here, they organized. There was a time when, and I'm going to use them as an example. I'm not using them as the ultimate end-all be-all we should imitate. But as an example of why knowing law and strategizing in unity. You can know all the law you want, but if you don't have the numbers, there's a lot of people, all them people don't know that law that's in them unions that set that up. Not that they had the person that was really on it, or they had a council that was really on it, and they had the backing of the people. They unified upon certain principles and certain codes that they knew, and they worked within them boundaries, okay? And then they brought that to the forefront, and they stood on that as a foundation, and they made things bend to their will and their objective and agenda, okay? So that's why you have a lot, especially in New York, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people say, oh, you from Boston, right? Nigga, New York's the most racist place I almost ever been. Especially when it comes to places where you're dealing with laborers, unions and stuff like that, and labor laws. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're dealing with the fire department. Brother right here gave an example about working for Pepsi. It was a Coca-Cola, Pepsi, the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know what I'm saying? What they did was they organized in a network. Now, what you gonna do? Because you're gonna see, when they said, well, okay, he's in the union, he's black, you're a black person in the union. They're not gonna have the same backing of your so-called white counterparts or colleagues or co-workers or union members that you work under. Because they never wanted you there in the first place. Because certain law provided that you're there against their will. What they felt they fought for, you know what I'm saying? So we have to organize even within that and start to have workshops on what to do to deal with discrimination on the workforce.
Form of unions that will benefit us and will actually be more equitable for the.
How many Moors work for y'all? No, you don't. They bring them laws to the table. There's no disrespect to the Moors. I'm trying to make an example. You might have some that come there. They might talk about sovereignty. When that cracker start discriminating at your job, because under sovereignty, how many institutions do we own? How many jobs are we providing for other even sovereigns? On a larger scale. So a lot of times you still have to work within the system of capitalism. So therefore, you have to get equipped with the right knowledge on how to deal with certain things. And we need to start having workshops and meetings and classes and even lectures to deal with those things. We have to cover all bases and all people activity in which we're forced to deal with this in this paradigm of society that we're forced to deal with. Let's be real.
And let this motivate us to become more entrepreneurial with our communities and with our societies, because we need to get into that position. We've lost our way. And I mean, it's obviously a cleverly devised plan. So it wasn't like it just happened by itself. But we lost our way. And we got to go back to actually formulating strategies and have plans so we ourselves can employ our own people. That way, my man right here is not going to have to deal with me calling him out of his name or treating him lower than myself or you or me, whatever. That's what we need to do. We need to start coming up with our own businesses, our own unions, our own movements, so that way we could protect ourselves and we could use our, whether it comes to purchasing power or anything, we could start using that. We need to start doing that.
You have the biggest purchasing power.
Ali Muhammad.
Oh, it's him. It's him. The Floyd Mayweather. Sankofa, brother.
He
already is. He's got a little Baba. Give a shout out to Baba TV, man. Baba TV, House of Consciousness.
Baba TV, House of Consciousness.
See you in Canada, brother. See you in Canada. I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yes, sir. Indeed.
Watch your back, brother. Watch your back.
Okay. And another thing I want to say too is because a lot of us are very reactionary. A lot of us are very reactionary because we bought into the concept and the idea, which is fallacious, that we are equal on all levels because we have a job. We're not. When you start getting into these places when it comes to law, labor, politics, on your job and stuff like that, and you start to see how these networks operate, and even though you might be a part of it, you're in it, you're only a part of it on a political on a political token. I like the way the brother said it. Give him a shout out for that. But I'm trying to say this. What we want to start to do is try to strategize and organize long-term types of structures and institutions that we have that will have everlasting, long-term, or you know what I'm saying? Effects that will be not just reactionary. That will be things that will be in place that help us out in the long term, that are permanent. Not just right man smack, you say out, smack out, smack ouch. No, we want to have a mechanism with strategy as the foundation and the blueprint for that, the right kind of strategy, which is going to take you really getting into these books, getting this knowledge and unifying upon common ground, you know what I'm saying, to protect ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we still are in this paradigm of capitalism. So we might say we're waiting for the spaceship to come, and I'm not knocking for that. But until that day, God bless the child that has us own. And in order for us to get our own against this rabid beast that we're dealing with, we're going to have to know law, we're going to have to employ other tactics and strategies and really put that in effect. Okay? So our children have a brighter future. Now the white Irish person in the union could bring his cousin, his son, his damn his son-in-law into the union. A lot of these black folks are scared to tell Lucky Leroy, their boy, that listen, man, I'm in a union, just give me a little bit, I'm gonna pull you in. Because they know what it is. So they might be in a union, but they don't even, my point is saying that they don't even enjoy the same benefits as being in a union as their white counterparts or so-called colleagues. You see what I'm saying? So I'm sure you can intervene. Go ahead, brother.
You're right on point, man. And I'm from Connecticut, and Waterbury, they got what they call set-aside jobs. Just what you're talking about with the unions. And then, but when you right on point, what we do today is going to affect the kids tomorrow.
That's right. That's right.
And what they did yesterday is affecting us right now. We still in the same condition that we did 100 years ago. We ain't made no change.
We have made a change. Can I tell you something? We made a change for the worse.
For the worse.
We own less banks. We own less farmland. We own less institutions. And we have less inventors. And we promoted more of that under the paradigm, under the, what is it, in the 1800s, Ferguson versus Plessy, under the Separate but Equal Act. And then when Oliver Brown versus the Board of Education in 1956, with the Integration Act, we lost more than we've ever had. So integration is not good because that was assimilation. And when you absorb into the power structure, which has more resources, economics, and a different agenda than you, you lose all that you was trying to strategize and build. You know what I'm saying? So I believe in having equality, but also having a structured, dynamic, and organized a blueprint in order to build our own. Because if not, they're trying to weed us out anyway. It's going to be a time where it's going to be hard for a Latino or black man to get a job at Coca-Cola. And I'm going to use that as an only example because this brother's working there, and that's what the conversation started off as being. But they're going to try to make it hard for us to get a job any goddamn where. So if we don't start organizing now, and if you're waiting for that spaceship, until that spaceship come, you know what I'm saying, you don't want to be sitting there starving. You want to make sure that you got things intact. You want to make sure you're organized. You want to make sure you're educated, and most of all, You want to make sure that you're unified, because unified is the blueprint. Every journey starts with a first step, and that's step one. But we have to have principled unity. All right? So with that, I want to say death to white supremacy on all levels and black power. Big up to Baba TV House of Consciousness. All right?
Peace.
Peace.